situation. Even though we've had to punt along the way, he gives us another chance to turn our defeats into victories. He gives us another chance to turn our shame into respect. I just wonder today, is there anybody here who know that it's time for you to rise up? If I could talk to David today, I believe David would tell you, I've sinned along the way. I've fallen short along the way. I've sat on the bench for a mighty long time. Well, there came a time in my life I had to bow down and say, Lord, create in me a clean heart, renew a right spirit within me. Is there anybody here know that you need to rise up? If you know you need to rise up, why don't you stand on your feet? Tell the Lord, thank you for picking me up. Thank you for holding my hand. Thank you for guiding my feet. Thank you for another day's journey. Thank you. When I was down, you caused me to rise up. The Bible said they led my Jesus up Calvary's hill. They hung him high. They stretched him wide. He hung out there from the 6th to the 9th hour. In the 9th hour, he gave up the ghost. They put him in a borrowed tomb. They sent him in and put a stone in front of the tomb. They sent the women by early Sunday morning. The angel said, I know who you're looking for, but he's not here. I can hear the Father calling out to Jesus, saying, Jesus, rise up. He got up with all power in his hand. Don't be like Peter. Don't be like Peter. Rise up and let the world know. Don't get caught up in the hype. Don't just go along to get along just because they are saying it. You need to rise up and tell them like they tell you in the church. It don't take all of that to sit around and watch a game. You don't have to say all of that. Rise up. Be a spokesman for the Lord. You don't have to drink it because they're drinking it. Rise up. He's giving you an opportunity to punt if you need to punt. Punting is just that favor. You got to understand that the name of the game, you're supposed to run every yard out there on the field. But because of favor and grace, you have an opportunity to punt. You get an opportunity to move down the field and cover ground that you really did not deserve. You may be here today. You may be like me. I had to have many punting situations. In other words, I needed to get there, and I just couldn't get there. I needed deliverance, and I just couldn't get deliverance on my own. I had to punt. I needed a healing. I just couldn't get a healing on my own. I had to punt. I needed to be saved one day. I couldn't save myself. I had to punt. Don't be like Peter. If they ask you, do you know him? Let them know you know him. That's what I do. I tell you, yeah, I know him. You got a minute? Let me just tell you what he did for me. I was in the field of life, on the field of life, and I couldn't get there on my own. He walked with me, and he allowed me to punt when I couldn't make it on my own. You may be here today, and you need a blessing, and you can't get it on your own. You may be here, and you really need to be in a church where there are a group of baptized believers who can embrace you, show you love, show you how to get God closer to you. You may be here today and you're lost. You don't know Jesus for yourself, and you need a punting situation in your life. This is a good opportunity. You may be facing troubles right now, and you don't know how to handle them. I want you to know that it don't last always. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy will come in the morning. The doors of the church are now open.
Oh, yes, I am. Trouble don't last always. Will there be one? I'm so glad. Trouble don't last always. I'm so glad. Oh, yes, I am. Trouble don't last always. I'm so glad. Trouble don't last always. Listen, he may not come when you want him, but he's on time. In the time of trouble, I know he'll be a friend of mine. Storm clouds are rising in your life, but I know that he'll